Alright, now that we have installed WordPress through our Zachy installer or whatever installer you choose to use, you get the login for your shop. So remember, the login for all of your WordPress websites ever, pretty much, is the URL that you installed it to. So in this case, it's justincussman.co.nf/wp-admin. That's always how you get to a WordPress login after you've installed it on your host. So that's where I'm at currently. So I plug in the username and password that I used to create the account in the last step. Log in, and it'll dump me into the WordPress dashboard if I've done this correctly. Here's your WordPress dashboard for the current version of WordPress that I'm at when I'm recording this video. Now, WordPress updates so often that by the time you watch this, you'll probably be quite a few versions ahead. That's pretty normal. That's one of the kind of negatives, if you will, of a WordPress build, is how often these things update. You got to keep on top of that for security reasons. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a very important thing. Your updates on your websites, as I logged in here, I already have one update even. This is where your updates happen. You'd like to click that and click update. I'm not going to do that right now. We'll talk about that later. But suffice it to say, WordPress updates pretty often. Now, real basics in WordPress here. The left-hand side here is pretty much your toolbar and your access to all different spots in WordPress. Up top is kind of a quick launch bar. And in the middle is kind of a dashboard that has like updates to WordPress and all kinds of different things that you can configure in here. So this isn't really that important of a region. This is where your content is going to show up when we get into the important stuff. So let's just start by some of the really, really simple basic things in WordPress, the things that really everybody wants to know right out of the gate. So first things first, how do you make a page, right? So even knowing what pages are, there are pages in WordPress and there are posts in WordPress, because WordPress was set up as kind of a blog platform first. Pages are what you want to start making. Those are kind of your static pages for the stuff on your website. Let's just go into that palette by clicking it, or you can go into Add New over here. This is the Pages palette. This is how you make a new page as kind of a quick launch. You can also do that from up top here, New Page. Any way you want to do it's fine. So New Page. This is how the page editor in WordPress looks. Here is the title, like the title tag on your website. So this would be like site homepage here. This is your content area. So down here is where you add, text and images. Now you can add text and images by typing directly into this, kind of like the Dreamweaver interface. You can add pictures by dragging and dropping them. You can add them by clicking this Add Media button. It's pretty versatile. The neat thing is there's some quick areas up here up top in this little bar editor. So this little bar editor here has a little toggle, and you have some options that are a lot faster than editing by the traditional coding methods. Say, for instance, if I want to change the text color, or if I want to make this into a heading, I can drop this down and do a heading tag. Makes it larger and gives it a heading. Now, what you got to realize what's happening here. This visual editor is a WYSIWYG editor, is actually adding the code on the text side. If you click text, this, as you realize, should be fairly familiar. I can edit this. I could change these colors right here and this code right here. Here's the benefit of WordPress. Right there. Let's say we want to, let's just say, I don't know, something generic like blue. And I can go back to the visual side and look, it's updated right out of the gate. So that's fast. I like that as a benefit of working inside the WordPress interface. You can toggle between these two as much as you like. So this is kind of our bones of our page. You add your text, you add your images. We'll get into how to format columns and those kinds of things later. To publish the page, you've got a publish button on the right hand side. We'll get into page attributes and all kinds of different stuff later, but publish is kind of your first step if you want the page actually live. So you click publish, and now the page is part of our website. Now how do we even view the website? What are we even looking at? Our website that we installed, the WordPress that installed on our host, we can visit the site by clicking this. Now I'm going to command click it or control click it if you want on a Mac or on a PC to open it in a new window to see here is my website. So this is currently what the current theme template makes my content look like. Right? So there's how to make a page in WordPress. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. The second thing I like to do is set my home page that I've just created as the front page of my website. If you look here, currently, this is not my home page that's set. This says home, but it's actually my blog. So the blog posts in my page. Typically, with pretty much all of the WordPress templates, this is what you're going to get, is you're going to get a default where it sets the blog posts that you will do as your default. Now, that's fine if you're running like a news site or something that actually is a blog. This is more of a website build. So to fix that, I'm going to go back to my dashboard tab over here, go to your appearance palette, and go to customize. Okay, whatever theme you've got, you can customize it here. Which is also, if you want to poke around in this palette, that's great. This is where you can customize whatever theme you've got picked. Now, I'm not wild about this theme, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Now, what I really want to do is check these homepage settings. Every WordPress theme will have this. You click homepage settings. What you want to do is set, instead of your latest posts, you want to set a static page, right? The homepage you just built, site homepage, now becomes the actual homepage of your website. See the editing I just did there now shows up. Now when people go to this URL, it will land on the correct page that I have specified. You can also specify which page your posts will appear on. If you have a blog, you can make a page called blog, have all the posts show up there, format it the way you want. Pretty slick. Okay, I like this, so I'm going to click publish. And now my website now has a static homepage, which is what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. So that's how to make a page and how to set that page as your home page. Thirdly, I want to show you guys how to do a menu. So the menu up top by default has a bunch of things in it I don't want. I don't want the sample page in here. The site homepage and home is confusing. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to fix this in my menus. So I'm going to go back to my, sorry about that, go back to my dashboard and go to appearance, menus. Okay, so the menu section is where you make a menu. It's pretty intuitive. Here I've got the only page in my website, really. Whatever, the only two pages I've got, site homepage and sample page. Any pages you make will show up over here. This is where you create your menu. Now, by default, it has kind of like a menu preset here. This is, you can call this whatever you like, this menu name. Just call it something logical like primary, or main menu, or site nav, or anything you like. Now over here, you can drop these little triangles down next to these little site homepage, sample page, site homepage duplicates. These are all the pages in your website. You can click remove, and it will take them out of the structure if you don't want them. Or if you messed up like I just did and removed all of them, you can pick which one to add back in. There we go. Now I really only have one page, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this as the only page in my menu, and I'm going to click create menu. Now this is pretty nice because this is a couple of options for this main menu. I want to definitely select this as my primary navigation. That way it'll actually show up on the top of my page or wherever I've got my nav set. Now this is an option that could be helpful if you realize that it's set. Automatically add new pages to top level. So this means if every time I make a page, it'll automatically get shuffled into this menu. That's just if you want that to happen. I personally like a little more control over this. You can always come back to this menu. You can always reshuffle these things over here. I don't know. Turn it on, turn it off. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. Save menu. Now if I look at my website and I click visit site, I can see that I've got my menu is correct. So there you go. There's how to make some pages. There's how to set a home page, and there is how to make a menu for your page. 3 of the most common functions you're going to see and what you need for this week's stuff. So again, anything you need, just email me or send me a message on Canvas and let me know.